How's it going, guys? It is Luke here. We have a different video today. Today is going to be a video on momentum. I think it's really important. It's a really important aspect of battling, and a lot of people kind of overlook it and don't really take it into consideration. So I'm going to try and explain how momentum works and how you can change it. So I'm going to leave a Rotom here. He's going to go for the Leaf Blade here. As you can see, he is scarfed. So I end up taking the hit and Volt switching out to Scizor, which I know is going to force him to switch. And I know he has a Gliscor, so I end up going for the U-turn. Now what this does is it allows me to switch into any Pokemon I want, which means obviously the momentum is in my favor, because he now effectively has to switch. Whether he wants to protect or do whatever else he wants to do, he has to switch. Otherwise he will die. So he ends up staying in here and making a really bad play and expecting me to switch. I have no reason to switch. 120 base power stab move. Super effective, why not? So he's going to bring in Gallade. Now, I know this thing is physical, I know this thing is scarfed, so I'm going to switch into my Gliscor here as he goes for the close combat. Again, if he does run the Ice Punch on his set, he definitely should have gone for it there. But he didn't, so now I know the Vaporeon is coming in, so what I do is I don't decide to just go for anything I have to hit it, I decide to double switch into a Pokemon that's more appropriate to take it on. Now, knowing he's not going to stay in, and that he doesn't have a Gliscor anymore, I can go for the Volt Switch, and that means I'll be able to hit any Pokemon I want, and again, be able to get initiative. Momentum's in my favour. So here I go for the Stone Edge on the Volcarona because I don't want to overpredict, and there's no reason not to go for it. He switches out to Scizor. Now, I know he's going to go for the Bullet Punch or a physical move, and he's most likely going to be Choice Banded, so I go to my Scizor. Now, at this point, again, I'm just going to go for the U-turn, knowing that he's going to want to switch because he's locked into Bullet Punch, so I can go out into my Rotom. You can see that the Vaporeon here is just going to go for the Protect. It doesn't really matter too much. I can go for the Volt Switch. There's nothing on his team to stop me going for that. So I end up going for it here. Now, this is key, guys. I want you to pay attention to this. He's got 17% HP left. I decided to go out to my T-Tar. This looks like a bad play, and it is in matchup terms. However, I know I can take this fine because I do have the special defense raise. I know also that I will get the sand up, and also I can get rocks if I want to. But no, I know here he's forced to wish. He has to wish if he wants to keep his Vaporeon alive. So for that reason, I know that even though I'm burned, if I crunch him, I should bring him low enough to where Sandstorm's going to be able to take him out. So I do that, and that does end up working out for me. So he's going to bring in Gallade. Again, the momentum is very much in my favour, so I'm going to switch out to Gliscor here again, as he goes for the close combat yet again. Now, I know at this point he's going to want to switch, he's not going to want to stay in, so I have a few options here. I can set up the sub predicting the Starmie, or I can switch predicting the Starmie. Now, unfortunately, I didn't really feel like bringing anything in because I don't know if I have anything that can one-shot this Starmie, so what I decided to do is actually go for the sub, and obviously the momentum is in my favour here, so I can get off any hit I want for free. So he's going to go for an Ice Beam to break the substitute. I'm just going to go for an Earthquake here, which is going to deal some massive damage. Now, I know I can bring in my Scarf Terrakion and finish this thing off, so I'm not worried anymore. So I make the switch now out into my Scizor, really just because I know he's going to go for the Ice Beam on my Gliscor, that or a Water type move, not the Thunderbolt, so I can freely switch into Scizor here. And as you see right here, he actually carries the Hydro Pump. If that had been Surf, I would have taken it. But because it's a Hydro Pump, I don't, which is unfortunate, but it's not really needed looking at his team. So I lose a bit of momentum there. You know, I've lost a Pokemon, but at the same time, this match is still very much in my favour. So I go to Gliscor now. I'm thinking he's definitely not going to want to go for a physical move. He's definitely going to want to switch, but he ends up staying in and going for it. He makes a bad play and goes for the Leaf Blade, but it does end up working out for him. And that kind of sucks. So I go for the Stone Edge here. And the reason why I do this is because I know I could have easily hit this thing with pretty much anything, honestly anything. Could have hit it with an Earthquake, anything like that, but I decide to try and level out the momentum by going for a resisted Stone Edge just to try and make the match a little bit closer. So you can see I've lost my Scarf Terrakion, so I'm losing momentum now. So I'm going to go into my Gliscor. You can see here I'm just going to go, oh thanks Seb, I'm just going to go for the Earthquake, and I'm just going to take that thing out right there. And next up he's got his Scizor and his Bug thing, which is fine, his Volcarona, because I can just go for the Earthquake here. He's going to end up not taking me out with a Bullet Punch. I know this thing does around 30%, so it's going to be a 2 KO. And I could have Sword Stance here as well, but I do know that the Volcarona will outspeed me, so there's no point in doing that. So I end up taking that thing out. Now look at that, you can see I've got 3 pokes, effectively 2 left, and he's got the Volcarona, so I know that I can just fodder this out to get a completely free switch into any Pokemon I want on my team that is left. So I choose to go straight out into my Keldeo. No point going for the Hydro Pump. Surf is definitely going to take out, so I can go for that. So you guys can see the momentum was almost 100% in my favour that game. It did switch around a little bit, but pretty much those are some things you can do to boost your momentum. So previous video on the top left, guys, you guys can click that. You can click to join the Keldeo army, and thank you guys for your support, and I'll see you soon.